cast a spell with me. Come and cast a spell with me.
Hey witches, so I am going to be doing a video for the Bad Bitch empowerment spell. Now, a couple people had suggested that they wanted to kind of change this so that way it could actually be a business success working, so that you can feel confident in taking action in those ways. So I'm just gonna first, before we get into it, talk about what this spell is and why I'm calling it the Bad Bitch empowerment spell. I'm gonna be adding in some different things. I'm gonna be adding in what I'm using it for, and then I will give you guys some ideas on how to turn it into a business or success ritual. So, well, the first time that I did this, I didn't call it the Bad Bitch empowerment spell. I call it Increase My Power. So I used this ritual 2 years ago, and it was a new moon in Sagittarius, which is already really fucking awesome energy. But I was preparing myself to release an album. I had to organize, design, and figure out how I was going to get everything moving for the listening party. I also had, I was recording. I was putting out new work and content on social media. I was planning and preparing for the listening party for the EP. And I was also starting this new regiment for this book that I was reading at the time, 5 a.m. Club. So I was waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was like activated to do the work. And this, when I did this working, I literally felt it work. I felt my body tingling with this energy, right? Like I could feel like I was energized, I was alert, I felt like I could do more magic, like more spells and more rituals. And I remember too, like even after the work, I would wake up in the middle of the night. I'd have like beats playing, and I would fall asleep sometimes to beats. And I'd wake up in the middle of the night, and I'd be listening to something, and it would come up, and I'd press record on my phone, and I just sing or whatever. Then I'd go back to sleep, and I'd wake up in the morning, and I'd listen to it, and it was like, oh my God, this is the next song on the album, you know? So I was literally creating content, music, planning out how I wanted the actual performance to be, getting all the things together, food, the bartender, how much everything was gonna, like, it was so many different things at the same time. And I was also simultaneously dealing with a lot of bullshit in my living environment and with some people that I had assumed were my friends. And it didn't stop me. It was like this work kept me going and pushed me to blow past the things that were distractions. Like I didn't even give my power to any of it. It was really amazing. Now that I'm looking back on it, that ritual was so amazing, because I was dealing with some really fucked up behavior from people that, honestly, I think that they were just trying to take from me, and they saw that I was doing really well. And you know, people have a habit of trying to fuck with you when you're on the upswing or when you're in your power. So, but I didn't let it didn't even bother me or affect me, because it's almost like I knew my power, and I knew that they were weak in comparison to me, and that's why they're trying to take from me. And I also knew that entertaining it in any capacity was like beneath me. It was really powerful and empowering, because I was able to complete all that. And I look back on it now, and I'm like, wow, that was a lot to have done by myself. I mean, the album release party alone, that's like, people get people to party plan and put all that shit together. I did every single thing. Minus like the financing. I had somebody who invested in me, but like the money was there, but I still had to plan everything. I had to get the bartender, and I had to make sure that we had, if we're gonna do food, like we're gonna get the vendor for the food, and like I wanted there to be like a crystal and like things that you could purchase there, and I wanted to print out a poster board, and I wanted there to be like this like piece of you know, a picture of the album cover, and I needed to get a good sound and lighting dude, and you know, I had to figure out what outfit I was gonna wear and who's gonna do my hair and makeup, and you know, all these things that artists literally usually have like somebody do for them, I had to do myself, right? And that's just one aspect of it. Now couple that with then making the fucking EP, going to the studio every single day, pretty much almost every single day, but it was like twice a week at that point. I was going twice a week for 5 hours every time I was going there. Twice a week for 5 hours I was working on the music, re-recording things, adding new shit, and waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do the work and be prepared, and like I was working out. Like, I'm telling you, I was on 1,000. I was on some next level shit, and I really didn't program it necessarily. Well, yes and no. I programmed it to increase my power, my mental strength, and my magical abilities, because I knew if my magical power was strong, that anything that I focused on and put my intention towards, it would just flow, right? And I felt like I needed an extra boost. So this working was such a powerful working. I suggest doing something like this on a new moon that is in a fire sign. So I do believe we have a new moon in Leo coming up. Do we have a new moon in Leo coming up? I don't know. I will look to see. But usually when there's like an Aquarius full moon, there's usually like a Leo new moon, but I digress. You can absolutely use this to help you, to push you forward and empower you to take action in business and success. And you can actually add in some elements and oils that are more geared towards that than what I'm going to be using it for. So I'm calling this the bad bitch spell, because I'm going to do the same ingredients that I did for the first one, but I'm going to be adding in some other aspects, because this is now going to be a little bit more than just like increasing my power, my energy, my mental stamina, and my organization, and my just like overall like psychic and intuitive abilities. I'm also going to put in here some confidence work. I'm going to put in some attraction work, and I'm going to just bring in this general sense of like knowing oneself. So I'm going to change it a little bit, similar energies, but with some added twists on here. And you can by all means tweak and move it around the way you want to, and Leo will periodically be a part of this. So hopefully I can finish this all on my phone. I'm recording this on my phone because my actual camera, which you probably can see right here, is dead, and I don't have time to do that, and I want to finish this and get this out of the way. So let's jump in. Okay, so we're starting with our candles. I want you to make sure that you have this as an important step of this work. Purple is the color of psychic power, magical power. It's also the crown chakra. Purple represents personal power in general. It also has to do with royalty. And because this is a empowerment spell and an increase your power spell, we're harnessing this purple energy, okay? This is important, okay? I want you to get into a habit of always using purple, okay? I know that, you know, other spells, if you only have white, that's fine. But for this spell, I want you to go out of your way to find a purple candle, 7-day, or you can find a purple figure candle in your chosen gender, and or you can find there are Madame Pamita, Parlor of Wonders. She has an online store, and she has a Queen Nefertiti candle in purple. You can use that if you'd like to, but it needs to be a purple candle. You will also need 5 purple pillar candles as your supporting candles, and 5 is the number of change, okay? And I like that 5 is the number of change. I like that because we are shifting our energy and we're increasing that energy. We want to see a change, okay? So technically altogether it's 6 with this candle, but I digress, okay? So you're gonna have 5 of these, okay? And then if you would like to also do some tea lights, which I will also be doing some white tea lights, there's gonna be 4 white tea lights, okay? So these 4 white tea lights will also be our supporters, okay? But these are the only non-colored ones that will be used. If you can get purple, that'd be even greater. But I'm adding more energy because I'm going to be blessing and activating these with certain intentions as well to increase this work, okay? So this is the only non-purple item that is going to be in this work. But for whatever reason, you need to make sure that the main candle is purple. So let's say you don't have purple pillar candles and you only have the tea lights, that's fine. But the main candle needs to be purple. Okay, harped on enough. So we're going to cleanse all of our stuff. This is Florida water from my shop. I'm just gonna add a little bit here to this candle. Okay. And of course you can also do smoke cleansing. Just make sure that if you're gonna be putting it, I'm cleansing the outside of the bottle as well, that you get all of the water out. Okay, and I'm just making sure that the outside of the candle is cleansed. And then I'm going to take all of these candles, again, the Florida water, you get the bottoms and the wick. Okay, bottoms and the wick. Just cleanse the hell out of that. Okay, and now we have our cleansed tea lights. Set those there. I'm going to do smoke cleansing on these because I find that if you put any liquid into this, it gets stuck at the bottom of the tin and we don't have time for that. I'm going to use some frankincense and myrrh incense. I got these actually at the House of Intuition, which is where I got the main candle. We are going to put our candles on our tray. We're going to set this to the side because we're going to get into our herbs. So we have our coffee grinder because we want this to be a powder. All right, and I'm not going to be doing, I don't want to do the more herb pestle for this. I want it to be ground down to a fine powder. We have quite a bit of things here. We just want everything to be cohesive. Okay, so the first ingredient that we're going to be putting in this mix is going to be ginger. Ginger is perfect for heating you up. It is a great power and empowerment herb. And if you think about what ginger, how it activates in the body and just the way that it feels when you eat a piece of ginger, it's very, very powerful. So people used to chew on a piece of ginger before they start to do magical work to prepare themselves for ceremony. All right, so our next ingredient is going to be master root. Now this is a giant master root that I actually got from Conjure Cardia. She has some of the best master roots that I've found on the market, and they're massive. I've had this for years, okay? I bought this, when I first bought it, the scent was really pungent, really potent, but it smelled great. And I have used little bits and pieces of this master root over the course of the last couple of years. So this is a worthy investment. I believe this is $10 on her shop. So if you can get your hands on some master root, I would do it, okay? So I'm just gonna take some smaller pieces. And master root is great for self-mastery and personal power. Next up is going to be dragon's blood. Dragon's blood is also really great for power as well. It strengthens, it purifies, and it increases energy, okay? It also has a very powerful protective element. And for me, when I did this work, I did kind of add the dragon's blood to almost protect my energy as well. So that's what I'm going to bless it for. You know, like obviously I want that power that dragon blood brings, but I want some protection so that people can't just come and fuck with my energy, if you know what I mean. Next, I'm going to add St. John's wort, okay? This is great for mental health, for mood, and for clarity, okay? Next up, we are going to be adding in, I'm getting clumsy, mugwort. Mugwort is really great for psychic power. And for me, because I'm a practitioner, I'm a witch, and just a magical person in general, for me, a lot of my strength comes from my psychic abilities, my intuitive abilities. And so you might not think that this is a vital part or vital step in this, especially if you're going to be using this for money or whatever the case may be. But I feel like anytime you have an improved intuition and improved psychic ability, you are helping to protect yourself and potentially avoid certain caveats if you can intuit certain things happening and just kind of be tapped into that. So we want to add things that do heighten our psychic abilities so that we can stay empowered in that way. Okay, so I'm just going to bless it for that purpose. Another psychic herb that we're going to be adding is yerba yursi. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that, yerba yursi. And this is another psychic ability herb, right? And so we're just doubling down on that energy and that intention, okay? Next on the list, I'm going to add in angelica root. Now, if you are a female, I suggest using angelica root. We are also going to be using calamus in this as well, but calamus is a great herb to use if you are a masculine user of this blend, okay? Angelica root is more for feminine empowerment, and calamus is more for masculine empowerment, and basically to be dominant and to control, right? And this is meant to help you be in control of yourself, be in control of your energy, be in control of your emotions, being in control of your life, your thoughts, whatever that may be. Putting your power and your authority back into your being is a really big part of this work, right? Is accessing this part of you that can stand in that autonomy, in that inner knowing that you are allowed to lead in your own right? Especially when it comes with your internal world. So we want things that are going to support us. Now, masculine and feminine, I'm going to be adding in there just to have a duality, but I like angelica root for feminine power and control and dominance in my own life. And I will also be using calamus for control. And now we're going to use our calamus, and I'm going to be blessing this for control, right? I want to have control over my finances, control over my thinking, my control over my emotions, taking control of my life, to step into my command center and to get things done, to be in control of my own being, of my business, whatever the case, to step into that leadership position. And so because this is the masculine, we also put the feminine, we're bringing into the two dualities, we're bringing in a fully balanced power dynamic, okay? Next, we're going to add in clove. Now we're going to be using clove for power and success. Because clove is a very potent driving force, I actually use clove in my Dragon's Breath potion. If you guys haven't seen that video, it's on my Instagram, and I kind of walk you through that. But clove brings speed, it brings power, it's great for breaking off curses and hexes and things that are negative energetically. It pushes them out. And if you even smell clove, I mean, the power that it has to fill a room, to bring a specific flavor into a dish. I mean, it's such a bold energy. So we are going to bless and activate it with those intentions in mind, okay? Next, we're going to add some frankincense. Frankincense is great for heightening and raising the vibration and aiding the spiritual aspect of this work, okay? Now, this is going to be great for all of my boss witches out there. I'm going to be adding in some money herbs to this work. This is cinefoil or 5-finger grass, and this is to put money in your hand, in your wallet, in your bank account. So this can be programmed to activate you to take action in things that are going to bring in financial abundance and prosperity, and put them tangibly in your hands, doing the things necessary to get that money flowing into your wallet, into your hand, and into your bank account, okay? Next, we're going to add some echinacea. Echinacea is great for strengthening the work in any spell, but it's also great for things like prosperity. So again, if you're looking to do this for business success, echinacea could be a really great way to double down on that. Next is orris. Orris is great for female power. It's also called Elizabeth root, Queen Elizabeth root, excuse me. But I like this as a confidence boost, more than just like domination, as the other herbs that we used in there were for being in control. This is more of stepping into your queendom. And I would say even further, if you are a male watching this, you can still use orris root if you would like to use that. Or you could just leave that out and double down on the dragon's blood, because it is more masculine. But I like orris root just in general for confidence and personal power. Next, I'm going to add in some star anise. This bag is all cut up. It's hilarious, honestly. I don't even know why I open it from the top since there's all these holes in it. But star anise is great for luck, and it's also great for increasing power, and you can bless it for prosperity. Okay, so as you can see, a lot of these things in here have money properties, so if you want to trade one out for the other, but in this working, I used a lot of this to just increase the power, increase the power, increase the power. So if you want to use a few for the power and a few for the money, you can do that too. Okay, so next we're going to add in orange peel. Okay, the orange peel is meant to energize and invigorate, and we're gonna keep it that simple, to energize us and to invigorate our power. This wouldn't be a bad bitch empowerment spell if we didn't add in some elements of beauty, seduction, and just general attraction. So I'm going to be adding in some hibiscus to amp up the appeal, to amp up my sensual appeal. Okay, I also have here a little beauty blend that I made a while back, and it has rose and lemon verbena and some other things that are just really great for enhancing overall beauty. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this blend in here. If you want to add some rose or whatever the case may be, you could, but I would just, you know, do things that are going to represent for you power. And because this is a bad bitch spell for me, this is what I'm adding in, because I know when I feel beautiful, when I feel like I'm presenting myself in the best light and the most advantageous, I feel when I look at myself in the mirror, I love what I see. It adds another layer to that empowerment, okay? Ooh. All right, so next we're going to be adding in some rosemary. This is also going to be another aid. A lot of people will use rosemary in protection work, but they'll also use it in empowerment work, because rosemary is really great at pushing things forward. Okay, and there's also a little bit of sage in there. So I'm gonna bless this so that it protects the increased power that we're going to be getting. I know we put that protection in there for the dragon's blood, but I'm gonna keep doubling down on that. Sorry about that. I have a bug zapper right here, so it just caught some bugs. All right, next I'm going to add in some bay. I'm blessing and activating this bay leaf to bring in clarity to the mind's eye. I'm going to be adding in now some cinnamon to raise my vibrational frequency. All right, so we are going to be adding in some jasmine flower, and jasmine will also help with the visions, to be able to envision what it is that you want to see in your mind's eye, to increase those visions. When you can visualize your future, your outcome, your plan, then it's easier for you to tap into the potential step-by-step things that need to happen to bring it to fruition, okay? And we're going to use some eye bright. I was like, if y'all want me to use it, let it appear fast. And this is great for opening up your third eye as well. Mental clarity and psychic power, okay? Okay, now I'm gonna just press and activate it as it is here. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, so another thing you can add in for business success as well is golden seal. Golden seal is great for bringing in that success element. Okay. All right, so first of all, this is amazing. I can feel the energy of this, and it just feels so good. Like, first of all, when I opened it up, it smelled amazing. But then on top of that, I just wanted to jump inside of this container and like roll around in it. Like, this bad bitch fucking powder. Like, oh my God. Wow, I wish there was smell-o-vision. So you wanted to get it down to a fine powder like this. And because some of those things are roots, I would suggest using a coffee grinder, because it's just gonna be able to do things that a mortar and pestle cannot. Now we're gonna move on to our candle work. Now the reason why we do the cleansing of the candles first is to give them a couple of minutes to dry off and cool, not cool down, to dry off from whatever type of cleansing. If you do water, then yeah, you are like a Florida water, you're gonna wanna give it a chance to dry. If you're doing smoke cleansing, you can jump right in, okay? So we are gonna first start with our center candle, okay? So I have a palm wax candle, so this is a different type of wax. I can't really drill holes into this the same way that I would be able to do like a paraben wax or a soy wax or a coconut wax or whatever the case may be. So this is gonna be much harder for me to like get down in there. So we're gonna be very, very light with the oils, and we have a few, so just keep that in mind. Now you don't need to use all of these oils when you do yours. You can just pick the ones that kind of fit your unique situation. But there are a few that for sure I want to make sure I put in this, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to add to this empowerment work is going to be by Conjure Cardia, and that is Queen Bitch. And this is a great oil. I think Queen Bitch is something that's, I don't know if it's known, but I personally love her Queen Bitch oil because one, it smells like chocolate cherries, but if you're trying to get some shit done, that is the shit. This is like, as you can see, I'm like at the end of this. Oh my gosh. And we ain't about to waste none of that. You feel me? Next, we're going to add in this amazing and beautiful oil from the honeyjar.us, and this is called Savage. Savage is her confidence, her hot girl summer oil. And this is to bring that confidence and that awareness that you are a bad bitch. Think Rihanna, okay? And man, Ooh, and it smells good. It smells like cherry blossoms. It's giving me a lot of cherry vibe, even though cherry and cherry blossom are a little different, but still so amazing. Okay, so we're just gonna bless and activate that. I'm going to also add in some power oil. This is my empowerment oil, which is not yet available on my website, but it will be. But you can make your own power oil. I have a video on that on my YouTube. So I'm also going to be adding another oil from honeyjar.us, and I'm coming to the end of this. This is the Goal Digger. This is a great name. I love that name. And this is to help you to meet your goals, to plan, and to bring in mental clarity. So if you are using this ritual for business success and empowerment, this is the one for you. Okay? And I will have a link down below. I have a 22% off discount code for her shop. So go ahead and use that code at checkout, and it's Glam Witch. Okay, I'm going to also add in another oil from the Honey Jar, and this is Millionairis. This is one of her new oils, and I wonder if the camera will pick this up, but look how gorgeous that is. Ooh, Millionairis. And I'm going to be adding this in here because, again, we said that we wanted to have some financial elements and some success in here. And this is to bring in that wealth and that opulence, but also to bring in the skill, the talent, the ability that will pull in those millions, right? And pull in that financial prosperity. Wow. It's just giving what it's supposed to give in the bottle. You see that? I'm going to also add in Crown of Success oil. Okay. And this is just going to bring in some more successful energy to this work. Okay. I'm also going to add in some Cleopatra oil. This is for confidence. And last but not least, I'm going to add a little bit of my Glamour Magic oil that you can purchase on my website. And I'm going to add this in for appeal, for notoriety, for recognition, and for a touch of some beauty magic. Because again, it's bad bitch oil. Who doesn't want to be seen in all their glory? Okay? So just taking it around and coating it. Remember, we didn't put too much oil, but once we put the herbs in here, it's going to kind of soak that up. All right. Now we have these candles, and I'm going to oil these candles with their own separate intention that's going to support this work, right? So you get to decide, because I'm going to do what I want to do with these, right? But you get to decide what is important for you to be the supporters. These purple candles, I will be anointing them with two specific ones, and that's going to be my power oil, okay, to improve the magical power and ability. And I'm also going to anoint them with Queen Bitch, okay? But then these white candles here, I'm going to be anointing them with Crown of Success and Goal Digger, okay? And that is just to support the energy of getting things done, moving things forward, being empowered to take action, while simultaneously supporting this energy of my magical power and my personal power is being increased. And I have the will and the drive to do the things necessary to bring that to fruition, okay? So you can dress it how you want. Maybe you want to dress these outer candles with Millionairis, some money, and Crown of Success. And the white candles, if you're using white candles, you can dress them with, Glamour Magic and Savage if you're doing more on the bad bitch. Like, you can decide what you want those supporting candles to be, but I know what I want it to be, and so I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do and live my very best life, okay? Again, this is the point where you start to take control and take charge of what it is that you want to show up in your life. So as much as I am giving you a lot of these ingredients, I still say whatever you feel like is right for you in this moment, take charge. Even now, as you're doing this work, be in the driver's seat, be your own boss, and make the choices that are going to best impact you and empower you, okay? Okay, so now that I've oiled my candles, I'm going to bring my herbs back into the mix. And y'all have seen me do this technique many times, but we're going to do it again for any newcomers that have not seen me do this technique. We're gonna lay out all of our oiled, there's been oil put on all these, top to bottom, and the wick and the base of the candle. And now we're going to shake a little bit of our powder over the top and cover it. Okay, and we're gonna roll them. Roll these bad boys in the herbs. Okay, and we're gonna take these. I'm gonna do a little dance on them. I'm gonna set them to the side for a sec. Put them here. And pour it back into the container so we don't waste any. Over there. And then we're going to just sprinkle some of the herbs from that same powder onto our tea lights. Now you're going to have a bunch of excess herbs. That is totally fine. For you to have some leftover herbs. Save this blend so that you can reuse this at a later time. So now we got herbs on our tea lights, and now we're gonna bring our main candle, and you guessed it, we're going to sprinkle some of our herbs on here as well. Just make sure that this little pathway is clear. It can be wet with the oils, but just no herbs if you can help it, okay? So we're going to align everything. Like I said, you want to place your big candle in the center. We're going to place our purple ones first, let them drip, and then okay, and now we're gonna place these all right. Now we're going to move on to another step. I usually will add a tiger's eye. So I have a tiger's eye here. I will have amethyst crystals and labradorite, because labradorite is a stone, I'm actually wearing it on my finger, a stone of magical power, intuition. I love using, and this is a primary one, if I'm going to use anything, I would use for sure amethyst, because amethyst is a balancer of emotion and it recalibrates energy. It's great for psychic intuition and power. It helps to curb bad habits that could maybe be stopping you from your empowerment. Helps you tap into your intuitive gifts. Amethyst has such really beautiful qualities and so many different things that can be beneficial for this work. I'm going to be adding these. Oh wow, they're like coming to life in my hand. They're waking up. Actually, I can feel them waking up, which is really interesting. I'm going to actually do a little grid with these points, but if you only have one piece, like you only have one tiger's eye, this is the only tiger's eye I have right now, and it's a circle sphere, you know, you can use that. If you only have one small piece of labradorite, you see that little flash there, it's really cool. Do what you have, but I'm going to be using these energies. So as you can see, this is going to be my front area. So you see that there's space, how there was that gap right here in the center. That's intentional because you put your labradorite, your tiger's eye, and your amethyst there if that's all you had, as well as a High John the Conqueror root if you wanted to use that. I usually will put that in there, but for whatever reason, I can't find my big massive one that I usually always carry with me. But that's okay. It doesn't have to be that way. What you can do is you can use your just your amethyst or whatever the case may be and just add that to the work. And these gemstone crystals are all going to be programmed for different things. So the tiger's eye is going to be for personal power and opening up your solar plexus, which is where your will is, and your self-worth and your confidence. The labradorite is great for magical power and potential, as well as opening up your higher chakras like your throat chakra, as well as your third eye and your crown, to be able to download messages, to be able to speak your truth, and to be able to use your voice as a magical tool, whether it be speaking things into fruition or using your voice as a way to direct energy, or if you're somebody who's calling the shots or organizing things, or you're a boss, literally your leadership ability to speak and communicate effectively what it is that you want. That's a great stone to have there. And then of course, like I said before, the amethyst, which has so many beautiful benefits, and that we have here trailing around this, wow, I just got a buzz in my ear, around this, okay? So I'm going to just activate the crystals and program them to do what I want them to do. I'm going to use my clear quartz point, but you could also use a pendulum, or you could just send energy to each individual crystal, put it in your hand, and then lay it there. But I want to activate the grid so that it kind of affects the candle work, okay? So I'm just going to take a second to do that. We're almost ready to light the candle. I'm going to add one last thing, and this is going to be a tag lock that links this work to me. You can use a piece of your hair, you can use nail clippings, but you want some part of you in this work. And so I'm going to use a little bit of my blood elixir. Again, that is a combination of me and some wine and some other ingredients, whatever, to keep it from coagulating. So anyways, now I have a piece of me to just tether this to me, and that it goes into the very essence of my being. This powerful empowerment, bad bitch spell radiates within my mind, body, and spirit. That I feel it in my soul. That I feel motivated, activated, and recharged to take action in the things that I want in my life. That I feel motivated and driven in my business to bring success, to bring creativity and inspiration and renewed power and strength to my business and to my work and whatever it is that I choose. That I stand tall, that I allow myself to be seen, recognized, and appreciated by all. That I see my own beauty and my own worth long before anyone else has to share it with me or sees it in me. That I stand up for myself, that I take no shit. That I allow myself to be the glorious, amazing, badass, kick-ass boss bitch that I am, with no regrets, and unapologetically show up in spaces as my most authentic self. That I stay in balance and harmony with who I am, empowered to take action. That I don't allow anyone to step in front of me and take my power from me that does not deserve it. And that I share my gifts with gratitude, with thankfulness, and with positive influence and impact on the world around me. That I shine as the badass bitch that I am, the badass witch that I am, with full faith. Asheo, and so it is. Whew. Holy shit. Well, first of all, I already feel it. I should have lit the candle in the center first. Okay, so don't do what I did. Light the candle in the center first and then light the candles around. Okay, because I burnt the shit out of my hand just doing that right now. But this is it, you guys. You're gonna let this burn down. You're gonna let the center candle burn down. And this is probably gonna take about a couple of days. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you set this up on an altar or a space where it can fully do and be what it wants to be and do. And look at how fucking strong this energy is. Every time I do this ritual, this is one of my favorite spells to do because I feel it immediately in my body. It feels like the cells in my body are reactivating and charging themselves. I don't know if you guys can feel this energy, just visually sense how powerful this is right now shooting out at you. But this work is, for me, a success. And it's so interesting is that this looks like it's tilted to me. I don't know, I don't know if it's visually how I'm seeing the camera or what, but it looks like it's like tilted, but it's not. Yeah, this is it, you guys. Let this burn down, and then I would love to see pictures. If you're not already following me on my Discord, I would love for you guys to take pictures of any work that you do and post it on the Patreon, but on the Discord group, and I will put a link in the description for that. And show me your results, and then we can do a reading on it. I can do a free reading on anyone who does this, and to let you know how that working kind of went about if you do this process. But remember what I said, keep your powder so you can use that powder later on or again for another ritual in the future. You're gonna add that powder into sachets and bags. You can sprinkle that outside of your business or in the walkways of your home. If you have a mat or whatever the case may be, you can put that there as well. But yeah, that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any comments or you have any questions, please feel free to, type them down below. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Be blessed.
Pull out the candles, pull out the crystals, pull out the recipe.